welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and for being here today. So today I actually wanted to talk about my final straw moment in weight loss. A question I get all the time is, what was your final straw, or what was your breaking point when it came to weight loss? What event or what trauma or whatever, like what was the thing that finally made me decide to lose weight? For those of you who are new here and might not know, I lived my entire life overweight up until adulthood when I reached morbid obesity. I didn't start losing weight until I was around 22, 23. So basically, I guess this video is just kind of going over what happened at 23 or 22. What happened in that time that did not happen, say, when I was 17. So I do have 5 things that stick out in my mind that really, when they happened, I just really think they contributed to my breaking point, to the boiling over point when I was finally like, fuck it, like we're losing weight. Before we jump into it, I want to give a very big thank you to Care of for sponsoring this video. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Care of, they are a vitamin subscription service. Essentially, they make vitamins super accessible and affordable by offering a service that delivers vitamins straight to your door. As many of you guys know, I'm a very big advocate of supplementing vitamins while losing weight. Vitamins, of course, do not, contribute to weight loss. They are not the reason you lose weight. However, when you are losing weight and you are in a caloric deficit, at least for me, I found that I had trouble tracking my vitamins and my micronutrients. So how Care of works. They actually have a super simple and easy quiz online, so you just go on their website and fill out the quiz. The quiz is going to primarily focus on lifestyle questions, health questions, diet questions, and once you input all your information, Care of formulates a list of all the vitamins they recommend based on your lifestyle questions. Something I really like about Care of is once they give you the list, you actually get to choose what you get and what you pass on. So you can add vitamins to your list, you can take them away. It's just overall super customizable. So I'm going to show you guys what I got from Care of this month. So your package is going to come and look something like this. So here's my little book, as you can see, made for Jordan. And in this book, it actually details all of the vitamins I got as well as what they help with. What I got in this box is zinc, vitamin B12, iron, veggie omega, and probiotic blend. But yeah, so your vitamins come in this little dispenser, which is so cute. You can just put it in your shelf, and every day all you have to do is pull it out, and you can see it says, "Hi Jordan," and it has a little quote of the day, and then all my vitamins are just in the little package. These little packages, by the way, are compostable. So I'm super excited about the vitamins this month, as always. Love the vitamins, but I'm very interested to try this. This is something new on the Care of website, at least new to me. This is vanilla oat creamer collagen. So if you guys are interested in trying out Care of, you can click the link down below in my description box and use my code Jordan50 for 50% off your first order with Care of. So 50% off your first subscription right to your door. Thank you again to Care of for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into it. All right, so my weight loss breaking point. What happened in my life that finally pushed me over the edge to be like, let's lose weight? So I actually have 5 things that I want to go over here. The first one I've talked about a lot, but I wanted to include just because I know I would get questions about it if I didn't include it. So for those who don't know this story, one of the most defining moments that began my weight loss journey was completely unexpected. It came out of nowhere. I stumbled upon it on the internet, but what ended up happening is I was actually sitting on the floor over there. I was packing my suitcase after Christmas, so I was getting ready to go back to university, and I was jamming to music. I had my laptop down there, and I was just kind of scrolling and packing at the same time. And while I was scrolling Facebook, I got this article. This article recommended to me. I wish I could remember why I got that article. Like, who posted it? Was it just sponsored? I can't remember why it was on my timeline, but that article changed the trajectory of my fucking life. Basically, the article was titled something like 10 unknown symptoms of diabetes. Something along those lines. 10 symptoms, 10 dangerous symptoms. But the reason why I clicked it is because the article picture was a condition that I had at the time. And I forget what the condition was called. I'll put it on the screen. And basically what it is, it was just darkness around the back crease of my neck. And that was something I had literally forever, my whole life. And it was something I was really insecure about before. I wouldn't wear my hair up because I had this like dark ring around my neck. And it turns out that was a very big sign of insulin resistance. So that was a very, 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 very big sign that I was well on my way to diabetes. So I was never diagnosed with diabetes, but I am almost 100% certain I was at least pre-diabetic, because when I clicked the article, 9 out of the 10 symptoms I had. And that moment in my life scared the absolute shit out of me. I think that was the final breaking point. The other ones I'm gonna go over happened before this moment. So this was the moment where I was like, okay, like something has to change. Because I remember after I read this article, I closed it, I cried for 2 hours, and then I signed up for a gym. I had never signed up for a gym in my life. I had never been even in a gym in my life, and I signed up that night. So that was definitely 100% my breaking point moment. All right, so moving on to the second event that happened that I think contributed to my breaking point. So this one I would say was just super embarrassing for me. Rather than a health scare, it was just so embarrassing and I just felt so much shame about it that I really think, you know, the memory of it lingered in the back of my head and contributed to me finally making change in my life. And honestly, I'm sure a lot of overweight people or people who used to be overweight have a similar story to this. And it was basically just one day, okay, it's a bit of a story. So one day I was with a few of my friends and for whatever reason, I can't remember why, but we had to catch the bus. So we were all walking to the bus, there were 4 of us, and the bus started to, you know, we saw it coming up the street. So when we saw it, all my friends were like, we have to run or we're not gonna get it, right? Because we weren't close enough to walk that distance to get on the bus. This event really fucked with like my self-confidence. So I hate talking about it, but I'm sure a lot of you know how this story is going to end. We started running and I just couldn't make it. And for whatever reason, I can't remember why we were getting on the bus, but it was for something important. So important that like they still had to get on the bus. Ugh. So basically what happened is while I was trying to run for this bus, I just could not run anymore. I remember my shins burning so bad. I was like, there is no way I can run. I cannot breathe. And to give you guys a visual picture, this was probably like the width of an elementary school gym. Not the length, the width, okay? It was probably about that distance. I know that is such a bad example. I can't think of anything else. So it wasn't far, but like I said, it was for something important. So as I was running, you know, I had to stop running and I saw my friends look behind and be like, what are you doing? And I was like, I can't make it. Like, I just can't make it. And I think that was probably one of the most embarrassing moments in my life because I just felt so much shame about it. But what ended up happening is they had to get on the bus themselves and leave me. So I literally had to wait for the next bus. And it's because I couldn't run a very short distance. I don't know. I just remember how bad it made me feel because I was young, right? I was like, how are you 22 and you can't run this distance? You know, obviously in my own head, I thought about my weight all the time. I thought about how I looked, how people perceived me. But very rarely was I put in a situation where my weight was suddenly the talking point, which it was in that situation because everyone knew I didn't make it because I was overweight. All right, so the third thing I started doing that made me realize I really need to change my life because it was not fucking normal was I started checking chairs. So what do I mean by this? Maybe some of you can relate to this. Basically, I got to a size that was too big for some chairs. So a lot of chairs I could not sit in. A lot of chairs, even if I could sit in, could not support my weight. Like they would break. They would. And I'm an anxious person. Like I already am a very anxious person. I look up restaurant menus. Like I look up everything before I go somewhere because I just like being prepared. So this little quirk I have about looking up food kind of manifested in a quirk of looking up chairs. So for example, when I started a new university program at a new school, I was horrified that it wouldn't fit in the chairs, which I had to get to this point, right? I had to get to the point where I realized this is not normal. Every other person in this class is not dreading the first day of school because they're afraid of not fitting in the fucking chair. You know, they're nervous about school, sure, they're nervous about their coursework, about meeting new people, sure, of course, but no one else was worried about not fitting in the chair. Basically what I used to do is if I knew the classroom name of a class I had, if I knew the name of a restaurant I was going to, if I knew the name of a movie theater I was going to, I would 100% every single time have to look up what the chair looked like. And whatever that chair looked like dictated whether or not I went. If the chair looked flimsy, like it couldn't support my body, I was not going. And I think it took a few of those times for me to realize how much I was missing out on because I was afraid of not fitting. I've mentioned a similar story to this before on my channel from my undergrad, where I literally could not take classes I wanted because they were in certain lecture halls and I couldn't fit in certain seats. I just remember kind of having a click moment, or not even a click moment, just a moment of absolute sadness for myself. I don't know, I just remember having this very specific moment of sadness when I was standing in a lecture room by myself, no one else was there. I essentially snuck my way up there because I wasn't supposed to be up there, solely to see if I could sit in that seat. Because this room specifically, this was a master's program, so the entire program was in this one room, and if I did not fit in that seat, they would have to give me a special chair or something. And I think I just got to the point where I was so sick of worrying about shit like that, where I was so sick of going places early, of Googling pictures of seats. All right, so the fourth thing that I can remember happening that I think contributed to my breaking point is I was sizing out a plus size collection. So when I was big, one of my favorite stores was Forever 21 Plus. So if you didn't know, I'm Canadian. Torrid did not exist in Canada when I was big, and this was before most stores had plus size collections. So I was very limited to what I could buy, but Forever 21 Plus I always really liked because it fit me, and I was a 3X at Forever 21 Plus. So 3X was the highest size they had. And I got to a point where, you know, I would order my clothes online because I've always been an online shopper, and they would arrive to my door in 3X and I'd try them on and they would not fit, which essentially meant I could no longer wear Forever 21, not even the plus size collection. And I just remember taking this really hard because it was kind of like, I felt like I finally found a trendy-ish place that made clothes that fit my body, and I was on the brink of having it taken away from me because I was about to size out of it. And you know, all these things kept happening that really made me think, like, is my weight making my life harder than losing weight will make it? Like, I started telling myself, like, the reason I wouldn't lose weight is because it was a challenge, right? And I was lazy. I just didn't want to. So I started asking myself, is it harder to live at the size I am than it is to lose weight? And suddenly it started to look like I was living the harder life being big. You know, there's a saying that a lot of you have probably overheard. Losing weight is hard. Being overweight is hard. Choose your hard. What hard do you want? And I guess I just got to the point where the hard I chose was losing weight because I didn't want to live like that anymore. All right, guys, so the fifth thing that I can remember that really contributed to my breaking point to finally losing weight, and that is that I was getting too big to travel. I love traveling. I love experiencing new things. I love going to vastly different countries and experiencing their culture. It's something that I have always loved. It's something that I've always known I want to do, is travel for my entire life. And it got to the point where I was not traveling because I was too afraid of not fitting in that fucking plane seat. Again, like I said, my anxiety completely prevented me from ever being able to, like, confidently go on a plane and ask for, you know, a seatbelt extender. That really wasn't an option for me. So, you know, the alternative was just to not do it. A more specific example of this that I can remember is I went to Florida with my mom for my 21st birthday with my mom and my grandparents. And we went to Florida and I was super excited about it. Drinking age in Canada is 19, so I had already been, like, legally drinking, but it was exciting to turn 21 in the States because I knew, you know, 21 was the age of drinking. I could not enjoy the thought of going to Florida. I just could not do it. I was so preoccupied up until the moment I sat in that seat. My mind was so preoccupied with the worst case scenario, the complete embarrassment I could experience by not fitting in the seat, by not having the seatbelt closed. Like, it was so anxiety inducing for me, it made me sick. I was so worried about it, I tried to lose weight for it. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna fit in the fucking seat. I spent hours looking up the flight, the aircraft model, the inches that the seat gives, like, all this stuff that was just making my life so much harder. So much harder than it needed to be. I bought a scale, which I had not owned a scale in years and years. It was a glass scale, which, side story, the scale was supposed to hold up to like 350 pounds. I think I was around 280 at the time. Shattered the scale. I feel like I'm one of very few people that can say they've shattered a glass scale in their lifetime. Like, up until I sat in the seat, which, if you're wondering, I did fit. It was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. The armrest in my side was so painful, but, like, I couldn't just, like, pick it up and go into someone else's seat, right? So I just kind of had to deal with it. But yeah, I love traveling. It's something that I want to do a lot in life. And when it was threatened to be taken away from me, it really made me kind of, like, just reevaluate my life. But yeah, guys, so those are the five most distinct things I can remember that I really think, you know, pushed me over my breaking point when it comes to weight loss. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. As always, I look forward to reading your comments down below, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.